All right, buckle up, everybody, because this week's deep dive is going to be a wild one. We're taking a deep dive into Solana. And man, did things heat up this week. I mean, we're talking more than just that exciting, like, $217 price tag. Although, let's be real, that almost two-year high of $223, it was, like, right there, you know? But this week, Solana didn't just hit some big numbers. It made some, like, serious moves that are kind of reshaping the whole crypto landscape. Ready for the big reveal? Solana just flipped Tron to become the #2 DeFi blockchain. Yeah, you heard that right. We're going to unpack all of that and a whole lot more.
You know what's really captivating about Solana's rise is that it's not just built on, like, empty hype, There's some serious on-chain activity backing it up.
Yeah.
I mean, over 6 million daily active addresses. That's a really clear sign that people are actually using the network.
Whoa, hold on. 6 million daily active addresses? That's going to be a pretty big deal.
Oh, it absolutely is. That kind of user engagement, coupled with that 11% jump this week,
Yeah.
it really shows that Solana is gaining traction where it counts.
Okay, so let's break down this DeFi dominance that everyone keeps talking about. I know a lot of folks listening are probably already pretty familiar with DeFi, but for those who are new to the game, can you give us a quick rundown of what it is and what makes Solana's approach so special?
Well, so DeFi is basically all about building a new financial system on the blockchain, right? We're talking lending, borrowing, trading, all the things you normally do with a bank, but without the traditional middlemen. And Solana, well, their DeFi ecosystem isn't just about copying what already exists. What's really exciting is that we're seeing some innovative lending protocols and yield farming strategies, things that are really unique to this space. And when you consider that Solana now holds over $7 billion in DeFi projects, it's a pretty clear sign that developers are seeing the potential here. They're building some incredible applications.
So it's almost like developers are kind of choosing Solana over these other blockchains out there. I mean, what would make it so appealing for building these DeFi apps?
That's a great question. There's a few factors at play, I think. Solana is known for its incredibly fast transaction speeds and its crazy low fees, which are really attractive to developers. And then there's that $7 billion locked in DeFi. That's basically sending a signal to the entire market. It's showing a lot of confidence in Solana's DeFi ecosystem.
Okay, I'm starting to see why this whole flip from Tehran is making headlines. But Solana's not just about DeFi, right? I mean, it feels like their whole ecosystem is exploding right now.
You're totally right. It's definitely not a one-trick pony. Like, just look at NFTs, for example. Solana's attracting a huge chunk of NFT users, like
Right.
about 40% this week alone. That's actually more than Ethereum. I think the affordability and scalability on Solana are some big reasons for that.
That makes sense. I mean, those Ethereum gas fees can be brutal, and Solana just seems to offer a much smoother experience. But we can't forget about the meme coins, right? I mean, Peanut the Squirrel hitting a $1.7 billion valuation, that's got to be a joke, right?
Yeah. I know, it sounds wild. But even the meme coin craze is telling us something important about Solana. It has this really vibrant and active community. There's this, like, playful energy there.
Yeah.
And honestly, that can be a huge asset.
So we've got DeFi dominance, the NFT boom, this lively community. It's not just casual users who are noticing Solana, though, right?
Not at all. We're starting to see some major players step onto the Solana stage.
Yeah.
Like Coinbase added Solana to its Keyline 50 index,
Yeah.
right alongside heavyweights like Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's a huge vote of confidence from a major institutional player.
So, break that down for us. What's the significance of that? Why does that matter so much?
It basically shows that there's growing institutional confidence in Solana. These are the investors with the deep pockets, the ones who are looking for long-term value and stability. And their involvement brings legitimacy to the whole Solana ecosystem.
And wasn't there something about PayPal making moves on Solana, too?
It's exactly. PayPal launching its PYUSD stablecoin on Solana is a total game changer. It opens up a whole new world of possibilities for payments and moving money within the Solana ecosystem. I mean, we're talking real-world impact here.
This is all pretty incredible, but I know there are always, multiple perspectives to consider. It can't all be smooth sailing, right?
You're absolutely right. It's super important to have a balanced view. So while all this growth is exciting, we do need to acknowledge some concerns that have been raised. For example, Edward Snowden recently expressed some worries about the influence of venture capitalists in the Solana ecosystem.
Yeah, I remember reading about that. So what's the issue there? Why is that a cause for concern?
Well, the worry is that if too much control is concentrated in the hands of, a few large investors, it could potentially undermine the whole decentralized nature of the blockchain, which is kind of the whole point, right?
Ah, that makes sense. So it's not all sunshine and rainbows. We need to approach this with, a healthy dose of caution.
Exactly. I mean, market volatility is always a factor in the crypto world, right?
Mm.
It's critical to do your own research, form your own opinions, and really understand the risks involved.
Solid advice as always. Now, with all this momentum behind Solana, what should we be keeping an eye on in the coming weeks and months? What are the big things to watch for?
Well, first, definitely keep an eye on whether Solana can revisit that all-time high of $260. It's within striking distance, and breaking above that level could signal a pretty significant bullish trend.
So we could be seeing even more price action on the horizon. Buckle up, everyone.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. But looking beyond just the price, it'll be interesting to see how the DeFi space continues to evolve on Solana. Like, will we see even more total value locked, more new and innovative projects popping up, and increased user adoption? These are all key indicators of a healthy and growing ecosystem.
Okay, that makes sense. And what about those institutional partnerships? We talked about Coinbase, but are there other big players who might be eyeing Solana?
That's definitely something to watch. Continued interest from venture capitalists. And integrations like the one we're seeing with PayPal's PYUSD, those could really further strengthen Solana's position in the crypto world. But, beyond the big players, I'm actually particularly excited about the innovations happening within the Solana ecosystem itself.
Oh, that sounds intriguing. What are some of the areas that you're most excited about? Give us the inside scoop.
Well, one that really stands out for me is the continued growth of NFTs on Solana. They're already attracting a huge user base. And with the speed and affordability of the Solana network, I think we're going to see even more creative and innovative NFT projects popping up, offering like completely new types of NFT experiences.
Yeah, it feels like NFTs on Solana are really finding their own unique niche.
Absolutely. They're moving beyond just static images to create like interactive gaming assets and really dynamic digital art,
Yeah.
all by leveraging the power of the Solana network.
It's amazing to see how this technology is evolving. But speaking of mind-blowing, can you tell me a little bit more about this deepen thing you mentioned earlier? It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It kind of is. DePIN, or Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Networks, it's basically about using blockchain technology to create networks of physical devices, like
Right.
sensors, storage devices, even processing power, all managed in this decentralized way.
So it's like using blockchain to connect and manage real-world assets. That's wild.
Exactly. And Solana, with its high throughput and super low transaction fees, it's actually becoming this leading platform for deep-in development. We're already seeing some really cool projects popping up in this space, offering things like secure data storage and sharing and real-time environmental monitoring.
Wow, I never would have thought about using blockchain for something like that. It's incredible to see how this technology is evolving.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it, right? It's constantly evolving and
Yeah.
finding all these new and innovative applications. Honestly, I think we're just scratching the surface of what's possible.
Okay, you've officially blown my mind. But before we get too lost in the future, we can't forget about the meme coins. I mean, they might seem silly, but they're definitely a part of the Solana story.
Oh, absolutely. The whole meme coin phenomenon is a testament to how vibrant and creative the Solana community is. While it's definitely important to approach these tokens with caution, they really highlight the accessibility and fun factor that Solana brings to the table.
It's like this gateway for people to enter the world of crypto, right? It gets them excited and engaged, and then they can start exploring other aspects of the ecosystem.
Exactly. It's this unique way to introduce new users to the whole concept of decentralized finance in a way that's approachable and, yeah, even entertaining.
So we've got DeFi dominance, NFT innovation, institutional interest, depin potential, and a healthy dose of meme coin madness. What does all of this mean for the average person who's just starting to explore the world of Solana?
I think it means there's a lot to be excited about. The Solana ecosystem is thriving, and there are so many ways to get involved, whether you're interested in trading, investing, building, or even just exploring the technology itself. Solana offers a really dynamic and welcoming environment.
It really feels like this bustling hub of innovation, like anything is possible on Solana.
That's a great way to put it. And honestly, the best part is that it's still early days. There's so much more to come. There's so much more to come.
It's making me kind of want to just dive headfirst into that Solana rabbit hole, you know?
Oh, I definitely encourage you to. There's a
Okay.
ton of information and resources out there, and the Solana community is super welcoming and supportive.
You've definitely convinced me to spend my weekend getting up to speed on all things Solana. But before we wrap up, I got to ask you the big question. If Solana keeps growing at this crazy rate, what could it mean for the future of, finance, or even the internet as we know it?
That's a question that could honestly have its own whole deep dive episode. but I think it's safe to say that Solana is definitely challenging the status quo.
In what way?
Well, it's really pushing the boundaries of what we think is even possible with blockchain technology, right? It's making us rethink how we approach finance, data, even our digital identities. If this momentum keeps up, Solana could have a huge role in shaping a more decentralized, equitable, and efficient future.
Wow, that's a pretty powerful thought. It's exciting and kind of intimidating all at the same time.
It is. It's a good reminder that we're living through a time of just massive technological advancement, and Solana is at the forefront of it all.
Well, it's safe to say that Solana has officially earned a spot on my watch list. I'm definitely going to be keeping a close eye on how this all unfolds.
I think that's a wise move. And remember, this is really just the beginning. There's a whole universe to explore and discover in the Solana ecosystem.
All right, deep divers, I think we've successfully navigated this week's Solana news whirlwind. It's been a crazy ride, but we made it out with some new knowledge, fresh insights, and maybe even a little bit of FOMO.
And hopefully a sense of curiosity and excitement about what's next for Solana and the world of blockchain.
I couldn't have said it better myself. So until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and as always, stay curious.
And don't forget to do your own research.
Words to live by. We'll see you on the next deep dive.
There's so much more to come.
It's making you kind of want to just dive headfirst into that Solana rabbit hole, you know?
I definitely encourage you to. There's a ton of information and resources out there, and the Solana community is super welcoming and supportive.
You've definitely convinced me to spend my weekend getting up to speed on all things Solana. But before we wrap up, I gotta ask you the big question. If Solana keeps growing at this crazy rate, what could it mean for the future of, like, finance? Or even the internet as we know it?
That's a question that could honestly have its own whole deep dive episode.
Yeah.
But I think it's safe to say that Solana is definitely challenging the status quo.
In what way?
Well, it's really pushing the boundaries of what we think is even possible with blockchain technology, right? It's making us rethink how we approach finance, data, even our digital identities.
Yeah.
If this momentum keeps up, Solana could have a huge role in shaping a more decentralized, equitable, and efficient future.
Wow, that's a pretty powerful thought. It's exciting and kind of intimidating all at the same time.
It is. It's a good reminder that we're living through a time of just massive technological advancement, and Solana is at the forefront of it all.
Well, it's safe to say that Solana has officially earned a spot on my watch list. I'm definitely going to be keeping a close eye on how this all unfolds.
I think that's a wise move. And remember, this is really just the beginning. There's a whole universe to explore and discover in the Solana ecosystem.
All right, deep divers, I think we've successfully navigated this week's Solana news whirlwind. It's been a crazy ride, but we made it out with some new knowledge, fresh insights, and maybe even a little bit of FOMO.
And hopefully a sense of curiosity and excitement about what's next for Solana and the world of blockchain.
I couldn't have said it better myself. So until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and as always, stay curious.
And don't forget to do your own research.
Words to live by. We'll see you on the next deep dive.